They are rich, they are powerful. Call on charity me. Someone did it and Jojo Kiridaka, I want to bora. Someone any are representing that defend Yoruba land. And when you want to tell Yoruba, want to tell Yoruba, then want dance shake. Want to your picture. Want to salosi America. Want to be as refugee. This is why the conservative ideology is extremely important. We must be flexible. We must not be rigid. We must rejig our philosophy so that our le buy Igbamu. If not, extinction la fin sere, God forbid. Let's now go into the topic proper today. Yorubas and ethno-religious identity. Good evening. Once again, good afternoon, good morning, brothers and sisters. I greet you all in the name of Olodumare, the creator of the heaven and the earth. I pray for peace in Yoruba land. I pray for peace in Nigeria. I pray for the continuous survival of Yoruba civilization. Those that want Yoruba civilization to go extinct, may they go extinct. I pray for the conservatives, Yoruba conservatives. Those that want us to be destroyed, may they be destroyed. I pray for the existence of the entire African people, that may Africa continue to survive and may Africa continue to thrive. Today's topic is Yoruba as an ethno-religious identity. Some days, many people have asked this question. Who are the Yoruba people? There is a lot of propaganda. There is a lot of attack. There is a lot of attempts to destroy who the Yoruba people are in order to destroy and break our ranks. Let me tell you something. The Yoruba people, like I said, we are an ethno-linguistic and an ethno-religious people. We've always defined Yoruba race as always been a group of people that are just ethno-religious, which is ethno-linguistic, which is wrong. And the reason I've been defined Yoruba as ethno-linguistic, it is because our current reality, because many of us have been constrained within the context of Nigeria, not to really understand what the Yoruba people are and who the Yoruba people are. The Yoruba people are an ethno-linguistic and an ethno-religious group. There are people in powerful places in Nigeria who have vowed that the Yoruba people must never be allowed to have a united bloc in Nigeria. The intentional balkanization, there are different levels of balkanization of the Yoruba race, and people did not know. The intentional balkanization of the Yoruba race is intentional. Now, what am I saying about the intentional balkanization of the Yoruba race? The intentional balkanization of the Yoruba race started in 1984 Berlin West African Conference. Before this period, Ilorin, Ibadan, Egba, every other Yoruba group were interacting together as a singular Yoruba bloc. But the 1884 Berlin West African Conference, they took a Yoruba part, put it in Togo. The Germans took it. The French took the Yoruba part, put it in Benin Republic. They now further went to another work, the British. The Yoruba people, I'm sorry to say this, the Yoruba people were a big, big problem for the British. That's why we have to continually beg and dissociate from neoliberal activists of Yoruba extraction. Ọ̀rọ̀ Palestine, àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ Congo, àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ Kituni yẹn Kotangora, àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ Peter Obi, àwọn idiot ló máa gbé sórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ibo tún nìyẹn náà ìlú Azerbaijan, àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Portugal, àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. Àwọn náà máa gbé sórí. We cannot. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ti dọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n ní pé it's a tribal matter, àwọn ò ní dá sí. Ṣé rí àwọn people yẹn, àwọn bíi Abatọláyínká Macaulay, Abat Macaulay, àwọn náà kó bá wa. Ṣé rí tẹ́ bá lọ ka gbogbo ìran, mo sì lọ ka so many books on many colonials, former European colonies. Ṣé rí ìran tó bá ti jẹ́ pé àwọn náà máa fight British, náà máa fight Europeans, they don't give them power. They will not give you power in a multi-ethnic, multiracial society. Wọ́n lọ gbé agbára fún ìran míì ni. Because house feed Negro, you are a feed Negro. On the, tí mò ń sọ ilé sounds crazy. Fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pé moralist ni yín, ó lé àdàndà ò ní yín, pé ṣé kò wá dá ní. Human rights. I want to ask you a question. Ẹ lọ ka gbogbo human rights activists ní Nigeria. The best of the best human rights activists for the past 100 years are Yorubas. Are Yorubas. So torí ẹ máa ń obedient. Why are the Yoruba people not protesting anymore? Wọlé Ṣóyínká is no longer protesting. Tinúbẹ́kẹ̀rẹ̀ is no longer protesting. Bí àwọn tí mo kọ́ yín dìde nìta ẹ máa ń jà fún ẹ máa jà fọ́rọ̀ tí ó kàn yín. They want you to continue to fight. Kẹ́ máa gba tear gas sórí. Káwọn dẹ̀ máa reap the reward. Look at us. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tán pa, tán lọ exile, tán destroy. Tinubu was the only one to survive now. Gbogbo àwọn bàbá yẹn wò jẹ́ wọ́n di ọ̀rọ̀ struggle yẹn. They destroyed Alliance for Democracy. People don't know how deep it is. Presidential candidate tí wọ́n gan wò jẹ́ ó jẹ́ wọ́n lọ gbé ọ̀tá Yorùbá náà fi jẹ́ president. So activism gbà mí. Ó yẹ ká máa fi common sense sí. Ṣé rí activism yẹn? We taught the entire southern Nigeria how to organize and fight the Europeans. Àwọn Abat Macaulay. But it came at a price. And what is the price? It came at a price. What is the price? We were targeted. So, in the scheme of power, British ensured what to get the way they now created a massive empire. But the Kanuris were never conquered by the Fulanis, the Tis, the Birons, the Jukuns, the Egons. They were never conquered by the Fulanis, the Okuns. Why do you now place all of them under the control of another colonialist? That was what the British did. So they took millions of our people and took them into the Middle Belt, into the north, the Kogi and Kwara axis. They now further placed all of us in the same country. So the agitation those ones were busy fighting. Our family, or me, command Fulani. I must go back to the west. Wasted brilliant lawyers. To Britain, what creates a problem in it? It can is the bitter truth. What creates a damage? What creates a damage for the rest of us? So, nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe 1984 Berlin West African Conference in 1914, Bobo Protectorate yẹn wọ́n tún gé Yorùbá kúrò. So, some Yorùbás became Northerners, while some Yorùbás became Southerners. Nígbà tó tún yá, wọ́n tún gé Yorùbá sí méjì. Fortunately, wọ́n tún gé Southern Protectorate sí méjì. because Yoruba, Awolowo gbọ́n, want to remove our Igbos. They wanted to use South in order to create an Igbo empire. Inti Fulani ṣe ní North, ní Igbo fẹ́ ṣe ní South. And the Igbos were a very important tool in the hands of the British in creating Nigeria. Without the Igbos, there is no Nigeria. It's the bitter truth. Everything the British wanted, the Igbos did it for them. So when you see people like Peter Obi saying, "Oh, we are the real Nigerians," he knows what he's talking about. It's true. Unitary system of government against regional system of government, balkanization, of preventing Yorubas of North from coming back to the West. That was the handiwork of the NCNC and the Igbo intellectuals. That was the handiwork. Very destruction of AG. That was the handiwork. That was the handiwork. So when that was done, don't forget, in 1963, they still broke Yoruba into another pieces. They took the Ishekiris, who was a very critical component of Yoruba stock. Ishekiris, who say, Akoko, wọ́n gbé kúrò after àtàwọn lọ tàwọn lọ́wọ́ mọ́lé. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé táwọn ò bá ti bàbá yẹn mọ́lé àtàwọn lieutenant ẹ̀ kò ní gbà. So it was a problem. Wọ́n parọ́ mọ́ ọlọ́tì mọ́lé. This was somebody tó jẹ́ pé he fought for the independence for Nigeria. Ó bá àwọn Europeans jà kán lè bá liberate Nigeria. Wọn ò rí rọ́pá mọ́ Awólọ́wọ̀. Wọn ò ti Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ́lé. Ìgbà tó Awólọ́wọ̀ wá wọ Nigeria after 3 years, along Simale and Sock treason. That is one of the injustice. Orí ẹ̀ ní àwọn obedient àtàwọn kan ní North not fi believe báwọn lè ṣe kú ní 2023 against Obasanjo, against Tinubu. Torí ẹ̀ ní àwọn bàbá àgbàyà kan fi lọ ń ṣe press conference pé ká annul election because wọn ò ṣe mọ́ pa ṣe mọ́ wọn ò ṣe mọ́ pa àwọn ògo Yorùbá. It's not the first time tí wọ́n ṣe ń pa ògo Yorùbá. Ṣé rí a leader, a powerful leader is equivalent to 10 million people. All this nonsense came out with we are the same. Kí náà ṣe táyì náà lè ṣe ẹ̀ lè ṣe. Tọ́rọ̀ ọ̀run kan náà kọ́lẹ̀ tíjọ wá ẹ̀ lè ṣe. You are not in the same category. Èyàn ju èyàn lọ. You need to know that some people are not your mates. You can never get out of this mess. Okay. Some people are superior. Just as Bola Ige, he spoke Hausa, he spoke Igbo, he spoke Yoruba. Brilliant men, gifted orator. Share replacement for more. Because replacement for more now. He just take parking replacement here that. Because replacement for more now. Because replacement for more. Níjọ́ tó ti pa àwọn Sùlíà Tadédèjì. Tó ti pa Kudirat. Kò sí replacement fún wọn mọ́. Ẹ̀yin kò wá jókòó síbì kan. Ẹ mọ̀ ní kí ni Tinubu ṣe táyàn lè ṣe ẹ̀yin ṣé wò tí wọ́n bá ní bẹ orí yín dànù. Ẹ mọ̀ pé bó ṣe dá wa yàtọ̀ láyé. You have to understand that you are not the same with some people. And tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ pa wọ́n. Tẹ́yìn tẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀jú kẹ́ mọ́ pa àwọn ológo tí yín jẹ lọ. Ẹ kúkú kọ́lọ̀ ń dáríjì ẹ mà àwọn ìlú tẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ olóríire àárín wọn náà mọ́ ń pa. You know how bílù yẹn ṣe máa ń rí. You have to realize Nigeria is not where you say this person has PhD professor Oloma lead you. We don't give a damn about that. Who is the person that can lead you into battle? Because Nigeria is a battle. The politics of Nigeria is a battle. It is not where they pay salary, where they construct bridges. The roads in Nigeria is a geopolitical, is for geopolitics. Railway construction in Nigeria is for geopolitics. Port construction in Nigeria is a geopolitics. You have to ask questions. How am I going to survive? What is the need for my people? And nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Osun State has 2 federal teaching hospitals. Oyo State, has just 1 federal hospital. Táyé ti ta. Tó yẹ pé àwọn òyìnbó gan ló kọ́, òun ṣe yẹ Nigeria. Osun State dẹ̀ ní méjì. Because they understand politics. They are lobbying. They play the game. Ekiti State has 2. Tipátipá ni Ọ̀wọ̀ fi Ondo State fi lẹ́yọ̀kan. A ṣe ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ ní káṣẹ̀ ṣe futa teaching hospital. Meanwhile, there are some states kan tí ò ní ju 16 local governments lọ ní north. Wọ́n ní tó mẹ́ta mẹ́rin. Wọ́n ní mẹ́ta mẹ́rin márùn. Bó ṣe ní nìyẹn, federal institutions. And they are using your resources to fund it under the federal government. But we are wasting. What we need is, we don't need more institutions. We don't need more. What we need is, we should put more money in the existing way. Useless idiots. Idiots. Oh, they need panu oshi won mo pe ka lo ma so oshi yen wa ba posita. Conservative conservative oshiwo. You think we are joking here? Bunch of indisciplined fellows. Look at see. One pin cake. Ẹ̀yin ní pé actually one boot here kon kúrò. Kí ló kàn tí ẹ ńbẹ̀ pé ẹni kò jẹun níta. Kí ló kàn tí ẹ ńbẹ̀? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá jẹun ṣòro bí wọ́n fún ẹ tí ẹ ní. Kí ló kàn tí ẹ ńbẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin adan ta ma dan le. Bunch of idiots. Kí ló kàn tí ẹ ńbẹ̀? Pẹ̀lú àwọn olórí burúkú kan lọ kọ kíní. Tinubu is appointing too much Yoruba. What have you called your way, my Jerani? What have you called it? Law competition? Tinubu is doing tribalism. You know, they put in Yoruba. Someone not to correct. Nígbà tó mọ tí wọ́n jẹ president. She won't correct. She won't correct. And it is all lies. It is all lies. Kì í ṣe pé ẹ fẹ́ràn Yorùbá, ẹ fẹ́ràn humanity. Ọ̀tẹ̀ lẹ ń ṣe. Ọ̀tẹ̀ ni. Ayé yín ò sì ní àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ wọn èjú ní ju aṣọ kan lọ. Ayé yín àgbẹ̀ yín ò dẹ̀ ní dá ẹ lọ́wọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Sunday Awoniyi. Ìgbà yín ò lè dá. Gbẹ̀yìn ọlọ́tẹ̀ tí wọ́n sabotage their fellow Yorùbás. Wọ́n máa ń tọrọ jẹkú ni. I'm not cursing you guys. Because you guys are foolish to understand Nigeria. So let's talk about the ethno-religious identity of Yoruba people. I've told you how they balkanized Yoruba land. That's why TYF is not interested in handshake across the Niger. We are not interested in friendship with anybody. We don't need your handshake. We don't need your leprous handshake. But we will align. We can be friends in 2027 and become enemies in 2031. Our interest is, how does he favor the Yoruba people? What's it called? To help state creation on reign. In 2027, I'm about join here. And they demand for 200 states. But she might fund there go kawa. I'm also offering you while living fund there. Give us some money. To ba de je, wípé tó bá jẹ́ pé region lẹ ń sọ. Abayin da sí pé ta fẹ́ ta kin sọ tete náà nìyẹn now. That's it. You have to be flexible in battle. You need to be flexible in battle to survive. And àwọn tó pariwo Biafra or death. 2023 they became Peter Obi or death. You see the way they switched. Àwọn tó pariwo, oh, Muslim ticket. All of a sudden, Muslim ticket is no longer correct. Oh, all Muslim are one. Yoruba Muslim and Fulani Muslim are one. When it came to the Tinubu issue, presidency must come back to the north. What happened to all Muslim are one? If all Muslims are one, Tinubu should be ruling forever. Because is it not just one Muslim Ummah? But no, because these are geopolitics. One for the in play piano ni ping pong. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n ti gba Sátidé lọ́wọ́ yín, wọ́n ti gbé Sunday lọ yín lọ́wọ́. Ẹ lè ronú. Ẹ lè ronú. A kàn ń pe Yorùbá ronú ni. Ẹ lè ronú. So please, you have to understand. Wípé nínú Nàìjíríà, for Yoruba cake situation, ẹ lè bọ́ síta lónìí kẹ́ sọ pé good morning. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ti rí pé ìlọ ti fẹ́ rọ́, you switch to good afternoon. Kò sí nǹkan tó kàn yín pé it's still 10 o'clock now. Kò tí ì ṣe good afternoon. Ẹ máa sọ pé like Australia is already afternoon. Which is true. It's already afternoon in Australia. You get away. For the survival of your people. Look, we need to play survival politics or we don't survive. Igbos are playing survival politics. Ijos are playing survival politics. Hausa Fulanis are playing survival politics. Why are Yoruba people not playing survival politics? I'm sorry. Yoruba demo. Yoruba demo. Come on. Bibi could be seen like Akiri. So God. Oh God. How can you not play survival politics in Nigeria? Should you funny? 13 They killed over 25 people. No panebonyi. Atime, no panebonyi. Nobody cares. They killed 20 people, 30 people. Can you imagine 100 people? My Jonah, nobody cares. You play survival politics. Korea change. We are in the age of Christian white nationalism. Trump sọ pé òun fẹ́ kọ́. Ṣé ní gbogbo tí Trump ń sọ? Trump kọ́ ló ń sọ. Trump is just a tool in the hands of some people. Gbogbo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Trump is just a tool in the hands of people. 300 years ago, people went into South Africa, killed indigenous people, enslaved them, pushed them out, and took 70% of their land. The indigenous people are now coming back. They give us our land back, and America is sanctioning them. How dare you be asking for your land? Now tell me if the word is a just word. In turn, South Africa, no, Zimbabwe, under Mugabe. Mugabe took back the land. Sharing land is a matter of life and death. It's a do or die. You don't joke with it. Always say this is Yoruba land. This is Yoruba land. If you don't have the means to get back your land today, tell your children, children, this is Yoruba land. Not a single inch of our ancestral space will be taken away from us. We don't care. We might not have the means to do it today, but who says somebody is not coming to come and do the job? So we are thinking, we must think play survival politics and generational wise. Don't think 2027. Bro, ni conservative. Bro, let's launch a political party. If no more the senator, type into the conservative, leave the place. We are not our interest in it. We are not here for that. Senator, House of Rep, in the conservative struggle. Social cultural, social political, and business. We endorse candidates. That is what our only business. Political power. We have to see that one. Shall understand? Now, ethno-religious identity. Sherry, Yoruba. There are only few people that looks like us in the world. And those people, I'm going to list them. They are the Jews, the Arabs, the who again? Like ethno-linguistic, the Druze, the
The
Alawite,
Fulani even. The Fulani to
the,
some extent too.
the Fulanis. Those are the few ethno-linguistic, ethno-religious groups in the world. And you have to reach a level of evolution, social evolution, to be ethno-religious, to have for your identity to become an ethno-religious identity. Ẹ máa ní a level of evolution kẹ́ tó dé level yẹn. Ṣé rí this situation tí Yorùbá bára wọn, the Yoruba people, because of lack of properly, and I want to stop saying insulting our leaders. They've killed a lot of them. Since 1993, show me any political leader nílẹ̀ Igbo àti ilẹ̀ Hausa tó ti pa. I mentioned 5, but we can count close to 50 Yoruba leaders tó ti pa. So àwọn leaders ilẹ̀ Igbo àti leaders ilẹ̀ Hausa, àwọn Fúlàní, wọ́n replace ara wọn dáadáa. Ṣé rí leadership tó bá jẹ́ pé tó ṣì wà ní age 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, tí mọ̀ye ẹ̀. But once a leader is age 80, 90, ìgbà yẹn gangan náà máa wúlò jù. Because that is when they are going to replace themselves. But Yoruba people, Yoruba leaders, they are always killed between the age 40 and 70 something. That is when many of them are assassinated or killed or jailed or maimed. So what has now happened is it has robbed the following. When a leader, a powerful leader, when a leader disappears, it is close to 5 to 10 million people who perish pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tí ò bá ti ní proper replacement. So Yoruba people were destroyed. I know a lot of our leaders, powerful people, tẹ́ pé Nàdẹ́kò ló lé wọn kúrò Nigeria, they never returned home till now. Bó náà ṣe fẹ́ mentor young people. Torí ẹ̀ lẹ́ fi rí àwọn oníkóbokò, àwọn young youth wa tó pera rẹ̀ ní progressive, wọ́n pera wọn progressive. Many of them ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ tán pé progressive mọ̀ wọ́n tẹ̀ ti bastardize kínní yẹn tán dẹ̀ náà ń bá wọn join Sharia. There's nothing in Sharia court. Ṣé Awólọ́wọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́rú yẹn ọ̀ Bọ́lá Ìgè ọ̀ kán mọ̀ gba etí irú yẹn kó yí 360. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí mentorship. Irú Buhari náà fi ń ṣe mentor. And Tinubu ń tiẹ̀ was properly mentored. Ọmọlẹ́yìn Bọ́lá Ìgè ni. Tinubu knew ìyá Tinubu ọmọlẹ́yìn Awólọ́wọ̀ ni. Tinubu was raised by an Awoist, thorough woman leader, hardcore Yoruba nationalist in Tinubu, and he was a follower of Bola Ige, àwọn Abraham Adesin. So he was a hardcore. Kò ń ṣe pé ó ka ìwé. He learned from the feet. He was born into it and learned from the feet of the elders. But Nigeria ti kọ́ Tinubu, he can no longer talk. Ìgbà tí wàhálà fẹ́ dé l'Ábẹ́òkúta ni Tinubu ń sọ pé mo sọ fún Buhari pé ìyà gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Bàbá fọhùn nígbà tí wàhálà dé. Èyí ni pé kò sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ mọ́ nsìn. Ẹ̀yẹn jẹ́ kó kúrò l'Aso Rock. Tá máa bọ́ lẹ́nu ẹ̀. That's why, and he's trying as much as possible. Kán má jẹ́ kán pa òun. Wọ́n ṣe pa ara wájú. Ṣé rí the ethno-religious, the Yoruba people are no longer an African race. We are no longer a black race. we have become a globalized race. And it was not because of our own making. Our culture, our identity, our civilization is a powerful civilization that for you to destroy the Yoruba civilization, you need to eradicate and exterminate the entire Yoruba civilization. People, in as much there is a Yoruba man alive, that civilization is alive. That is how powerful it is. So, the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of over 50 ethnic nationalities, race, from different kingdoms and different empires in West Africa, in Central Africa, and in Southern Africa were exported in their millions to serve, to industrialize as the free labor, to build North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and North America. The entire white power, the prosperity of Europe, the prosperity of the white world was built on the blood, sweat, and sacrifices of the black people. Torí ẹ̀ mo fi máa ń sọ pé Yorùbá sọ máa ń sọ, àwọn Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé òwe Yorùbá ni, wọ́n ní ẹni tó kú oní tiẹ̀ gbé. So ẹ má jẹ́ kán pa yín. Ẹ má ní Ọlọ́run ó dá, Ọlọ́run lè dá, ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run lè dá maybe in the next 1,000 years. Wọ́n á ti pa yín gbé. So they destroyed a lot of our people. So the Yoruba, the entire gbogbo area Togo yẹn, Benin Republic yẹn, was full of Yoruba kingdoms. 90% of Sabe, mo ti so many places. Wida, Ishauru, Ketu, wọ́n depopulate ibẹ̀ yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ lọ kó àwọn èèyàn wa lọ sóko ẹrú. Millions of them. And later on, gbogbo Yewa axis yẹn, Yewa used to be very, very populous. Tí Yewa di minority nínú Ogun State yẹn. It was a powerful axis of the Oyo Empire. So Yewa was depopulated. Gbogbo area Kwara yẹn, a lot of Yoruba, gbogbo Iku, gbogbo area bẹ̀ yẹn ni wọ́n depopulate. So that people into slavery. Okun, that area of Okun land is by the area, the Edu local government, àti these two Nupe local government, tó wà ní Kwara yẹn, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. It was towards the end of the 19th century, àwọn yẹn wá, they populated them, sold them into slavery. It was genocide. And when many of these slaves, it's either they were sold through the Badagry port, or they were sold through Port Novo, or they were taken and sold through Ghana. Or they took them through the Sahara route, one of them in Senegal. Torí ẹ̀ ni the Sokoto Caliphate also wanted to get access to the sea. It was not because of religion, it was for economic reasons. Because wọn ò fẹ́ máa ta ẹrú fún middlemen mọ́. Why should they be selling the captured slaves as middlemen? They want to control the ports. So a lot of our people were sold into slavery. And these European colonies were empires. Brazil belongs to the Portuguese Empire. Cuba belongs to the Spanish Empire. The Americas, Jamaica belonged to the British Empire. You know, a lot of these places were empires. The Dutch Empire, Argentina Empire, Venezuela, Spanish empire. So the empires were in charge of those places. So when they brought the slaves, the first thing they did is they ensured that the slaves, your name, the the slave masters, your name, you start bearing the slave master's name because you belong. You no longer have a right. You belong to the slave master. Your identity is lost. They banned them from speaking Yoruba language. At a point in time, the punishment when you speak a language that is not Spanish or Portuguese or English or Dutch, it doesn't matter. It depends on where you are taking. Your tongue will be cut out, or they will cut off your tongue. So if you continue to speak the language, they will annihilate you. So they took the language away from them. They took their names away from them. And when it got to a time, there are some places for instance, in Haiti. They saw what happened in Haiti, the Haitian Revolution, around 1794 towards 1801. That was the Haitian Revolution. And what happened in the Haitian Revolution? There was more black people in Haiti, in the island of Haiti, than the French, because they were working them to death. And many of the people of Haiti were also Yorubas. So when the Haitian Revolution was started, the god of war, Ogun, Oniwonpe, if you want to read the Haitian Revolution, the soldiers, Ogun was the totem of war, don't be like Ogun Haiti against the French Empire, was Ogun near Haiti. To show you it was the Yoruba people that led that war. Go and read about Kalota Lukumi, the Washango priests that fought for the liberation of slaves near Cuba. They were also Yoruba Muslims too. Tankoleru, near Brazil, that also led the Malay revolt in Brazil, which was one of the most bloodiest revolts in the history of that Portuguese empire colony. So what am I saying is, all the people, they even make sure, let's say these are 10 Yorubas, they will figure them out and they will sell them to different masters. They will mix Madinka with Yoruba, Yoruba with Fulani, Hausa with Fulani. One can mix here, so that you will never be able, they erase the identity of all the slaves taken into America, into the Americas. That is why it is only lunatics. It is only primitive people that will underestimate the importance of identity in life, in geopolitics, in power, and in survival. And they also made sure all of them became Catholics, Baptists, Christians. They were forcefully converted. If you don't convert, you'll be dead. It was that was the period of Inquisition. That was Spanish TLA. They were even killing their fellow Christians that were Protestants, that were not Catholics. So talk less of you that you are saying you want to be worshiping, you are Orisha adherent. So millions of our people also converted. And what were they doing? What they were doing, in Brazil, towards the end of the 18th and beginning of the 19th century. For every white Brazilian, 2 Brazilians, there is one black. At the point in time, 60% of the population of Brazil were black people. The people, our European powers, colonies, French leaders of Brazil said, this is dangerous. We need to keep this country as a white country. Sherry, the Europeans have we are not concerned. They would rather go to war. They don't care. Look, the European hegemony was not built on liberalism. It was through bloodshed. It is you that has been fooled. They've dismantled USAID, WHO. When globalization was profiting them, When they were taking slaves, Yoruba slaves, to build America, to build Cuba, it paid them. Now it's no longer, you guys are no longer needed. And look, let me warn you, if you are abroad, don't ṣọ́ra yín, ẹ má bá wọn join Palestine, America, kìnìkan. Wọ́n lè deport yín o. So kẹ́yẹ́ kó rí yín pé, just do your job, amass money, find a way and plan your retirement in Yoruba land.
Already, they are just rolling back 40 years of history.
That's
That's all.
history. Thank you.
40 years.
Thank you. So you need to understand, they are rolling back 300 years of history. So one other thing they also did in Brazil, me or more Portuguese term, we have to call Portuguese. They call it the whitening policy of Brazil. And what did they do? They were asking, in fact, when they come Japanese, white, I want the poorest of the poorest. Once they come in to Brazil, one lọ black slaves, so they go fertile, to look good. One lọ fún àwọn poor farmers here, poor people, they want fún wọn nílẹ̀, wọ́n ní kó mọ bá sùn. So they were now producing half white. You know, want to make sure, want make it loss. So what happened is that a lot of them were white. Today, if you look at people like Cristiano, Tebawo Ronaldinho, Tebawo Ronaldo de Lima, they are neither black or white. They are in between. They are products of that whitening policy. Because one thing to ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Haiti, that the white must never be a minority in all the Americas. Caribbean nìkan ni àwọn British ò ti rí kíní yẹn reverse. That's why Jamaica, Barbados, Haiti, gbogbo àwọn countries yẹn náà fi jẹ́ white black majority. Torí ẹ nígbà tó tún yá, wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ kọ́ àwọn Indians, àwọn British lọ kó Indians wá. Wọ́n kó wọn sí Trinidad and Tobago. Wọ́n kó wọn sí Guyana, because they don't want black people to be majority in those places. I'm telling you the politics that happened in North America and South America. If anybody ever tells you your race doesn't matter, you are dead. And you believe it, you are dead. Race, color matters. So, yeah. Race doesn't matter. Yeah, we all want human, but watch your back. I want to teach any white world. We know the reality. It matters. It matters. Torí àti rí pé this basic things kò yé Yorùbá. Torí ẹ̀ la fi ń ṣe rádaràdá nù Nàìjíríà. Táwọn kan fi ń pe àwọn ní Lagos Igbo, tá lè fún wọn kòbókò. It's the bitter truth. Now, let me give you an example of America. All the states in America, torí ẹ̀ ní ìgbà tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ state creation, tí àwọn TYF ń sọ, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ òye, state tí wọ́n fi bèrè ń bù wá, wọ́n insult wa. Because they think this thing is pé kankan mọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ anyhow nígboro. Ní America, let me tell you how the states were created in America. For a state to be created in America, the white must be 65%. Americans that are here can testify. State tí ò bá ti ní 65% American majority, wọn ò lè fún wọn ní state, wọn ò ní create state yẹn. So that is why from New York to Oklahoma to torí ẹ̀ ní gbogbo àwọn ibi táwọn Native Americans tí wọ́n congregate sí, ibi táwọn blacks congregate sí, wọ́n pín wọn sí pieces ni. Torí ẹ̀ ní indigenous person kankan ò lè jẹ governor l'America, wọn ò ní population, wọ́n ti pọ́n wọn ká. Ó máa le gan kí black people tó lè jẹ governor l'America. In táwọn black kan dominate ní àwọn block kan, àwọn section kan, ọ̀kan mọ jẹ mayor. That is what black people lè jẹ. But when I was governor, in America, I just laugh. It's because people don't know what they've done. If I look at this House of Land, we know what you guys have done. You have think tanks. Borrow think tanks, white think tanks from America to come and teach you this evil you've done in the north. So you look at Gombe. Gombe is 60% Fulani.
Ẹjọ́ ta ló ń gbọ́ ààrẹ o?
Gombe is 60% Fulani. Gombe is 60% Fulani. And because Gombe is 60% Fulani, they will now put some minorities. One join it, one create states. E.g. Bauchi, E.g. Kaduna, E.g. Gombe, E.g. states wotuni Adamawa, Taraba, Nasarawa. They will cut it. Gay. When they took the Yoruba Okun, a whole Yoruba block, they took it out of Kwara. Instead of bringing them back to join Ekiti to correct the past injustice against the Yoruba race, what did they do? They went to go and add them to Igala and Ebira, turn them to another minority. So the state creation that one bro intention not kò yàtọ̀ sí bí white Americans bí wọ́n ṣe erase, decimate and destroy the indigenous American people and the black people. It is because of this that the black Guam, which is an American colony, it is because of this that Puerto Rico, which is an American colony, cannot be a state with the United States. Intentionally Guam, too successful. Intentionally Puerto Rico, too was successful. Onafesheni Gaza, American proposing. That's an American solution. Ebalawobiti Hawaii wa. Ebalawoti Puerto Rico wa. Ebalawoti Guam wa. Sibiti America wa. They are far apart. Create a colony, another colony, Gaza. That's what they are planning. The people of Gaza are white, they are Arabs, so what they can whiten them, one man low. So this is what has, don't use emotions to understand the world. Open your eyes. But Hawaii had 60 after they destroyed the Hawaii kingdom. Hawaii had 60% white American population. White population. So Hawaii, in fact, there was a big battle to overtake Hawaii, the state. But Hawaii had 60%, only 65. One was 60%, now she might control population later. So Hawaii was given a state as one of the states of America because it's a white majority. Sherry, from neoliberal left. Don't bomb missing. I'm like, oh, these people are so terrible. Oh, but you join Pan-Africanist. My Lord, look, Billy Aye, the strong will destroy the weak. You have to choose. Anti-conservative Yoruba must not be the weak. We must be strong. We must be powerful. Don't ever form the victim. We're not victims. In wrong, we need to be strong. And as a region, if I say state, no problem. The state here no, because anyhow you bring it in Nigeria, anything you bring in Nigeria must favor the Yoruba people. It doesn't favor us. That's how it works. Shewari, so much a create a state for in America. So the politics of our the Yoruba people that were now taken as slaves, many of them were priests, priestess, many of them were brilliant nobilities all across Yoruba kingdoms, mostly from the Oyo empires and other Yoruba city states. They told you cannot speak your language. You cannot bear your names. You cannot even intermarry within yourselves. You can't even have a territory. You gave birth to children. Your children gave birth to children. You are producing kids, 10 kids, 15 kids. All of them were slaves. But you remember you are Yoruba. How do you survive? Any slave that was caught, totally, if you can read and write, oftentimes it will lead to your death sentence. So it was even against the law for slaves from the transatlantic era to be able to read and write. So how do they survive? That's why other race, Fulani ni o, Madinka ni o, gbogbo àwọn tán kó lọ, hundreds of them in their millions. When we say 100 million blacks were shipped out of Africa, I know it was a genocide. But these millions that were taken is the Yoruba people that survived. How did they do it? When this was happening, ṣé mọ̀ pé Yorùbá tó wà ní Cuba kò ráwọn Yorùbá tó wà ní Brazil, Yorùbá tó wà ní Venezuela kò rí èyí tó ń bẹ láyìítì, èyí tó ń bẹ ní Haiti kò rí èyí tó wà ní Saint Lucia, èyí tó wà ní Saint Lucia kò rí èyí tó wà ní Guyana. So they needed to survive. Èyí tó wà ní Guyana kò rí èyí tó wà ní Trinidad and Tobago. It's a period of humiliation for us. That all of us are talking here today. Conservative estimates, 40% of Yoruba people, of our population, were sold into slavery. 40%. All of you listening to me today, you are lucky you are not part of those that were taken into slavery. If it was in that period, many of you would have gone into slavery. But they did something. They went back into the ancient code of our forefathers because they understood civilization. Civilization, culture is part of a civilization code, framework, and bedrock. Spirituality is there, which is religion. Culture is there. The way of dressing and mannerism is there. Culture, food is there. Food, religion, language. Shall understand? Those are the base. The last thing is your bloodline. That's why I want to say everything new. They don't even have anything to follow. They are going to go and do genetic testing to determine maybe they are Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa. So when genetic testing, all these biotech companies that are doing tests on black people to know their ethnicity, they are one of the richest companies in the Western world currently. Because a lot of black people want to know who they are. They want to know, am I Yoruba or Hausa or Fulani? That's how important their identity is. Identity is that one obedient ní kẹ́ destroy. That one miscreant ní kẹ́ destroy. That one WhatsApping, Bashir Ahmed, wọ́n ní kẹ́ destroy in the name of Islamic Brotherhood. Ẹ̀yin wèrè kan dẹ̀ join wọn. Nobody is more Yoruba than me. We own this land. You don't own this land like us. Yoruba obedient. You don't own this land like us. You are tired of being Yoruba. We are Yoruba first. And you are tired of being Yoruba. And you want to hand over our political economy to outsiders. And you are telling us you are Yoruba like us. You are not. You are not. You are not. You are saying you are Yoruba like us. But you want to eradicate and destroy our Obas and be listening to Sultan of Sokoto. And you want to say you are Yoruba. You are not. You are not. Because the first thing to be Yoruba is to loyalty to the land. Whether you are Yoruba Muslim, you are Yoruba Christian, you are Yoruba Isheshe, you are an atheist, it is the loyalty to the land that joins all of us together. There is Yoruba land within Nigeria. That's a fact. Don't allow anybody brainwash you, bamboozle you. Can't you see that globalization is being destroyed in the world? We are living through history. We are witnessing history. The end of globalization. The multipolar world order. And you are still talking rubbish. The people that are telling you to destroy your Yoruba identity are busy fighting for how they are going to annex Port Harcourt. The people telling you to destroy your Yoruba identity are currently looking for how to annex Ilorin, annex Moro, annex Benue into their caliphate, into in the name of one North. Don't you think that this is all politics? This is all political. This is all political. You are Yoruba because you are Yoruba first. If you say you are Yoruba Muslim first, you are politically irrelevant in Nigeria. Share the population, Yenny. The reason why people fear you as Yoruba is because there is a block. A Yoruba Muslim, a Christian, Isheshe voting together for a united political purpose within Nigeria. Tebala say I'm Yoruba Christian, you are a minority, you are a fool. You are just 20 million. It's only population, But it's when you come together under a block, you cannot negotiate for power. Tori, Muslim, Yoruba Muslim, àti Christian, wọ́n jọ ń gbénú Ìbàdàn ni. Wọ́n jọ ń DCMD ni. Wọ́n jọ ń lọ hospital yẹn ni. Ẹjọ́ ní entitlement síbẹ̀ ni. Create àwọn wèrè kan wá ń pín yín. Wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ́ sí sectarian. You can't see the bigger picture. Pé nǹkan yìí, nǹkan wa ni. Ó yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan yìí ni. You are not thinking. Tọ́lọ́ ti gba sáàsì lọ́wọ́ yín, wọ́n ti gba Sunday lẹ́yìn lọ́wọ́, wọ́n ti pààrọ̀ ọpọlọ yín. So going forward, so ethno-religious identity. The ethno-religious identity. Our people in the Americas, they started syncretizing Yoruba religion. That's the only thing. You can't take religion from personal. You can't take it. Gbogbo Ifá, Odu Ifá to memorize. Because they were in tears. These are royalties. They know the essence of who they are. These are people that build empires. If an empire, kingdoms, rich culture, rich institutions, warriors, they were not turned into slaves. And they still believe one way or the other, they are still going to come back home. But how are you going to come back home when you don't even know who you are anymore? They don't know how they are going to survive. What do? They started using their religious aspects of their civilization to codify their survival. Only one shay. So different type of Yoruba religion started to emerge in different countries and parts of the American continent. In Brazil, we saw candomblé. So once you are syncret, so now many of them, one of the problem, she was the Catholic or the Catholic. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú Catholic, ibi táwọn tí ń worship, wọ́n segregate wọn. Ibi táwọn tí ń worship, Mary, wọ́n sọ di Ọ̀ṣun. Saint kìnìkan, wọ́n sọ di Ṣàngó. But if you don't know, ẹ máa rò pé wọ́n ẹjọ́ ń ṣe Catholicism ni. They syncretized it. And they did it for close to 200 years. Centuries after centuries. To survive. So they were able to keep. So they know. Once you keep this identity, they will know we are Yoruba, we are from Ketu, we are Anago. So after 200 years or 300 years, there was anti-slavery Guinea. So all of the slaves were free. After the slaves were free, the Madinkas were no longer Madinkas anymore. They became fan. They don't even know who they are. The Hausa people that were taken into slaves, they don't know who they are anymore. Àwọn yẹn kàn di Afro-Brazilians. But the Yoruba people, after immediately they got their freedom, they came out. Thank you, we got our freedom, we are Yorubas. After 300 years. Now, these people never had any means because they were poor. One of the things that with slavery and colonialism and racism is economics. That's why economic power is extremely important for any race. Entire one fi bàjẹ́ ní South Africa nìyẹn. Political power without economic power. You are going into slavery. Apartheid did not finish in South Africa. That's what the God President Ramaphosa is trying to change. The people there, that's why they are doing xenophobia. They are in pains. What's the buyer one jẹ́? If there is no economic liberation, there is no, every political power is useless. It's useless. That's why Hausa Fulani, they are in chains. Hausa people are in chains, but it is spiritual and social chain. Because economic, political, and spiritual power is not in their hands. And I'm going to explain everything tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá and what some people are planning. Tó bá yẹ pé máa kọlura wa, because the truth is already going to come out. Some people are afraid to speak this truth. We will speak it because we know the danger. We know, we've been there, we saw it. Don't think all of us are just quiet. Some Yoruba elders know what is happening. And nothing is as dangerous as an ignorant people. You can put one máa kọ, wọ́n máa bú àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́. But nonsense táwọn kan ló ń kọ. Rubbishing what some of us are doing with our blood. Because they always want to look. That's how we have a lot of Yoruba obedience. People that can no longer think, reason properly. So going back into what happened. So there was an so they emerged a new form of Yoruba. So Yoruba became a religious and ethnic identity in Cuba, in the United States, in Trinidad and Tobago, in more than 20 countries. Now, these people carry Brazilian passports. These people carry Cuban passports. But let's just imagine if white nationalists or Christian radicals rise up and say, all these people practicing this religion, we are going to chase them back to Africa. Where do you think they are going to come back to? Like internet, they are coming to Yoruba land. Ibẹ̀ ni wàhálà ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. How you are going to tell them they are not Yoruba? We will be waiting. People like us will be watching. How you are going to tell them they are not Yoruba? Because that was what happened to the Jews. Because during the time of Theodore Herzl, the father of modern Zionism, there were two types of Jews: the secular Jews and the practicing Jews. Many of the secular Jews were people that maybe their forefathers were Jews. And the practicing Jew, many of them were converted Jews. So there was a big problem within the Jewish community. Is Jew an ethnicity, a race, or a religion? Torí ẹ̀, òun ni wọ́n fi ọmọ Donald Trump. Is it Ivanka or ọmọ Donald Trump? She's Jewish because she converted into the Jewish religion and automatically she became ethno-religious Jew. The same thing tí ṣẹlẹ̀ l'America sí Yorùbá. There are torí ẹ̀ tí this Renault Mercury says there are more Yorubas in Americas than in West Africa. It is true. There are millions of people identifying as Yoruba in the Americas through the ethno-religious identity compared to you. Can you believe pé torí pé orúkọ tèmi á jẹ́ Adésípò ilé ọba náà ti bí mi ìwọ fi ń pèrè Yorùbá. And that's why I said there will be a battle in the future. Because unfortunately, Yoruba Benin Republic ò ní problem. Oh God, they were lucky to be in that country. Yoruba spirituality is the African spirituality of Benin Republic. So it's a Yoruba base. Fortunately for them, àwọn ò ní problem. Ṣé ní Yoruba Nigeria, orí wọn ti ṣe kíni? Ó ti yí. Ó ti yí. Explain lọ ariwo. I have PhD, I have PhD. Mo kò sí nǹkan kan lórí mọ́. You don't even understand. And the problem that you need. So many of them don't even understand anymore. They are confused. Some of them preach pan-Islamism. Tẹ́ bá sọ fún wọn pé ẹ̀sìn tẹ́ ń ṣe yìí, in tó dá Boko Haram sílẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Ṣé ẹni ká má ṣẹ̀sìn wa ni? Wọ́n ti ń gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ ti Islam o, irọ́ náà ń pa o. Because they don't want to be called out for their stupidity. They cannot argue and debate the madness that they want to bring into Yoruba land. And we've told them, Ìlọrin ò lè ever jẹ́ gold standard ilẹ̀ Yorùbá páláíláí. Ẹ̀ntara yín ni o. Ìlọrin is a special case. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe àbòsí, ẹni pé Ìlọrin ẹ ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ṣùgbọ́n tó máa ń pín goodies, ẹ rántí pé Yorùbá ni yín, ọ̀tẹ́ bá fẹ́ jẹ́ Grand Mufti. Ẹ mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ni yín. You are just fooling yourself. Adema liberate àwọn èèyàn wa. Every Yoruba people will be properly liberated with your madness. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí yín nílùú Ìlọrin oní Kùránì àti fi yín lẹ́bẹ̀. System of government yín ó yàtọ̀, no problem. Ṣùgbọ́n you cannot bring the structure of Ìlọrin kẹ́ ẹ sọ pé structure yẹn la máa lò ń bàdàn tó bẹ́ẹ̀. And you cannot bring your structure ní Ìlọrin. You are just a small city, a small town. You cannot bring your structure and say that structure la máa lò lọ́yọ̀ọ́ or lọ́fà tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú Kwara yẹn dẹ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kí structure la máa lò mú àràn oníjẹ́bà tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Because we need to start calling you mad people out. Torí àwọn kan yóò mú eléyìí yíyọ. Mo rí àwọn olórí kúkú bí iṣu ewùrà yẹn. Ihun tí wọ́n rò nìyẹn. Tán rò pé structure Ìlọrin only the ideal. It's not. Tẹ́ bá rò pé ẹ lè dógun sílẹ̀, we are going to ìran jagunjagun ìran Yorùbá. We will defeat you. We will defeat you. We will defeat you. Because Yoruba is complex. If you go and bring people, Arab country, Yoruba, Brazil, they are coming to come and fight free of charge to protect that land. It's the bitter truth. That's why people like us are preaching a balance. So there are two groups of Yorubas. The ethno-religious Yorubas and the ethno-linguistic Yorubas. We have white people that are in color, white, but they are claiming to be Yoruba. And are they not Yoruba? They are Yorubas. Because that's the religious aspect of Yoruba. Làwọn bàbá wọn fi survive the horrors of transatlantic slave trade. They survived 300 years. Ìpéjọ kan bọ̀ àwọn bọ̀ nlé, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ nlé o. Bóyá àwa la witness ẹ̀ ní o. It's going to be yam pepper scatter. Ṣé o kí mo ti sọ fún yín rí? But how come in Jesus' name? Holy set, Holy Ghost, Lord. Me or book Christianity, I'm not be no. Our people, you want to working, what dieting? Lord, they will be Brazil, my back in one. Cuba, my back in one. I want political power. They have political power in Trinidad and Tobago. They have. They understand the way the world works. They are they I want you to see they were born in the belly of the beast, so they will fight you if you deny them and say they are not Yoruba. So there is an ethno-religious millions of Yorubas in Brazil. That is why people like us, even though we are not practicing Isheshe, we will use our last blood to protect the Yoruba religious adherents in Yoruba. Because they are the link. They are the link between the over 100 million Yorubas in Americas and Yoruba land. Shadi gbogbo ta de sọ yìí làwọn extremists ní òkè ọ̀yà náà mọ̀. They have powerful think tanks. It's a way to totally destroy the Yoruba civilization. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo political sharia tí Sultan Òṣogbo tó ń gbé bọ̀ yẹn. Kò ń ṣe fún ìran Yorùbá. They don't love us. It is to annihilate us and destroy us. Ask yourself, why táwọn extremists don't you are so people that have wọ́n believe pé àwọn ò lè dọ̀bálẹ̀ fọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwọn ò lè dọ̀bálẹ̀ fáwọn bàbá wọn. Ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ kúnlẹ̀ fún bàbá ẹ̀. Bẹ̀tẹ̀ ẹ̀yin lẹ fẹ́ jókòó síbi tí ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ dìtàmí ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ jẹ Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀. Ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ dìtàmí ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ jẹ Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́. Sure make sense. You hate the Yoruba culture. You say it is un-Islamic. Why are you now interested in our ancient and powerful traditional institutions? Sure make sense. Ẹni pé Ṣàngó ẹ fẹ́ parẹ́, Egúngún ẹ fẹ́ parẹ́. But ẹ fẹ́ lọ gba síìtì Ṣàngó, ẹ fẹ́ kí síìtì Ṣàngó èèyàn candidate tí ń lè fẹ́ fi síbẹ̀. Unfortunately, Olódùmarè, you lost. Ojú tì yín. Ẹ wá sunkún kiri. Àwọn conservative, àwọn Yorùbá nation secessionists, àwọn ni wọn ò jẹ́ kí á jẹ, àwọn ni wọn ò jẹ́ kí candidate wá wọlé. And when they tag us this kind of names, call us these unprintable names, that's why you know that these people are terrorists. They are looking for ways to set us up for destruction. For destruction. That's what they are looking for. And that's why we need to be smart. And we need to understand what is at stake. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn ò rí lẹ́yìn ní inú Ìlọrin wọn ò rí bí export, wọn ò rí bí expand sí. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sí láwọn wèrè kan, àwọn aláìní. That was why Sheikh, leader Arabita, gbàgbórúkọ wọn, ó sábà mi lórí. Wọ́n ní báwọn tán pariwo political sharia, wọ́n náà fẹ́ fi gbàjọba ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá ni.
Bàbá Mọ́ríkàs Habib
Bàbá Mọ́ríkàs
Àlìlọ́rẹ̀.
Ó lọ bá wa dá wọn sí. Wọ́n náà fẹ́ fi gba ilẹ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ fi gbàjọba ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. It's all political. Because wọ́n fẹ́ change the civilization yẹn láti inú. They want to capture it. Gbogbo bí tẹ́ ń pè ní tán, gbogbo Emirates ní Nàìjíríà lónìí. Many of the Emirates are not Fulani. Gbogbo Emirates àwọn Baruba are not it is Baruba. Àwọn náà jọba ń bẹ̀. But wọ́n ti change the Emirates. Ní Auchi gan, àwọn Edo State governor ní Ogba. Wọn Ọ̀tàrù Auchi ó ti fẹ́ sọ bẹ̀dẹ̀ Emirates. They didn't allow that rubbish. Because you change the indigenous structure for your own political agenda. For your own political agenda. So there is an ethno-religious identity of Yoruba people. Because Yoruba is religion in more than 30 or 40 countries of the world. Ṣé nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo máa ń rẹ́rìn-ín tẹ́yìn bá parun Yorùbá ò lè parun. Àwọn yẹn ń ṣe Yorùbá lọ ni. Continue the rubbish you guys are doing. But what we are telling you is like the Jews. Albert Einstein was an atheist. But he was a Jew. Albert Einstein kò bá wọn lọ synagogue. Kò bá wọn lọ, but he's a secular Jew. He's an atheist, but he's Jewish. Torí ẹ̀ náà nínú ẹ̀ náà la ṣe nírú ẹ̀ lẹ́ Yorùbá. You can be a Muslim, you can be a Christian, you can be an Ìṣẹ̀ṣe òrìṣà worshiper, but you are Yoruba. Because ọmọlúàbí kò dín yẹn pawápọ̀. Ìbọ̀wọ̀ fágbà. Torí ẹ̀, religion will be a personal business in Yoruba land. Your Islam is your personal business. Your Christianity is your personal business. Yoruba religion will be your personal business in order to be able to bring everybody under the same umbrella. Àìjẹ́bẹ̀, you will disintegrate this civilization, and all of us will suffer for it. God forbid. So I want to destroy your empire. I want religious extremists, fundamentalists. Ọ̀tá Yorùbá ni wọ́n. Religious extremists. So there's an ethno-religious identity. So Yoruba is an ethno-linguistic and ethno-religious identity. And there are different types of Yoruba religion. Ẹ̀yin ní tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń lọ redemption camp. Ẹ̀yin lọ Monicas. Ẹ̀yin ní, I'm sorry, mi ò bá anybody. Ṣé rí ìwọ tó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ Yoruba leader, o lè gbẹ̀sìn sórí. Torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò lè mọ̀ bóyá ṣé Christian àbí Muslim. It's my personal business. I'm speaking for the Yoruba people. I am not speaking for Christianity or Islam or Ìṣẹ̀ṣe. I'm speaking for all of us. So sometimes you are going to love what I'm saying. Torí àwọn kan tí ẹ ti kóra wọn Johnson, ojoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n bú Think Yoruba First lórí Twitter, lórí Facebook, mo ti block wọn dànù. Oh, they are Yoruba nation, Ìṣẹ̀ṣe nationalist, they are anti-Muslim. Intention sí nìyẹn. Mo dẹ̀ wọ́n sponsor wọn náà ni. They are sponsoring them from the caliphate. Because Think Yoruba First is too powerful for is destroying pan-Islamism in Yoruba land. It's destroying pan-Christianity also in Yoruba land. There is an agenda to create a Muslim North and a Christian South. So àwọn kan wá believe pé àwọn ni wọ́n máa fi Muslim North, we take over the North. Muslim West, they will take over the entire West. Islamic brother, àwọn tẹ́rọ gbogbo táwọn Egypt bá nìyẹn, òun náà fẹ́ ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. We know the game. But Think Yoruba First ideology is a problem. When I see them, and these are people, you platform by, they will never come here. Lie. Normally, by mama sorrow, be a mental problem. They will never come to this platform or you engage them. No. They want to lie, push. Oh, Ìṣẹ̀ṣe náà preach. Oh, Ìṣẹ̀ṣe ni wọ́n ní kí ẹ̀yin tó fẹ́ di Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ di Ìṣẹ̀ṣe. Wọ́n àtọ́mọ̀ pé many of us, and the dangerous thing ni pé àwọn tálákàwá sí wa ni wọ́n target. People that cannot afford data, tí wọ́n lè wá sí Twitter. So this is what they are pushing. And a lot of our people now, tí wọ́n tactical àwọn ọmọ nípa politics, they are playing into their hands. Àwọn tó ń pè wọn ò mọ̀ ìgbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nationalism decades ago. Àwọn kan fẹ́ máa sọ fún wa, àwọn oníkòbókòbó. Islam is the problem. How is Islam the problem? Ṣé by Islam, báwo ni ṣé Islam ò sí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá fún 500-600 years ni? Àwọn sọ pé àwọn kan ti kọwọ́ bọ, wọ́n ti change factory setting, nǹkan fẹ́ gbé wọlé. Wọ́n ti weaponize it. It's not. So we need to find a way and find a balance. This conversation we are having It is our political leaders. These are the kind of conversation that our law man need. But I want to political class and see idiots. Me better look at one one Sharia courts. I'm not pàdé mọ́. I'm not pàdé mọ́. Ogbon tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ dánwò lé Yorùbá. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kẹ́ jẹ́. Gba àwọn tó dálẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀ ní jẹ́ ẹ̀yin ka èèyàn yín.
Àṣẹ.
Because kí ló dé? Tẹ́ fẹ́ dá ogun sílẹ̀. A ní kẹ́ lọ ka lẹ́nu tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Lebanon. Ẹ̀ ní lọ kà á. Nígbà tí kò sí nǹkan lọ́pọlọ lórí yín. Ẹ̀ ní ju ṣe gádẹ ẹ̀ ní ju first degree lọ. Many of you tell need you ẹ lọ kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Lebanon. Ṣé fẹ́ dógun sílẹ̀ ni? They will supply. America máa kó bọ̀ fáwọn Pentecostals nílẹ̀ Yorùbá and they will be armed to the teeth. Àwọn Brazil máa kó bọ̀ fáwọn ṣẹ̀ṣe. They will be armed to the teeth. Qatar náà máa kó bọ̀ fáwọn Muslims. They will be armed to the teeth. Ẹ máa pa ṣégè síra yín lára. You will not know the price of peace. You will know the price of peace because we are telling you. And many of our political elite, they will run away. Àwọn ilé ìṣe àwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ tó máa lọ sẹ́wọ̀n fún Yorùbá. Wọn ò lè lọ sẹ́wọ̀n fún Yorùbá láíláí, kí ló kàn wọ́n? Àwọn ilé olè ẹ̀wọ̀n kí ló kàn wọ́n yẹn? Ẹ bá kú dànù.
Wọ́n máa jápa ni.
Wọ́n jápa ni, wọ́n máa sá lọ. Àwọn olóògbé kìí máa sá lọ ni.
Ààrẹ Ṣadé Dancer ló máa lọ sẹ́wọ̀n fún Yorùbá.
Wọ́n máa sá lọ. Is it Adeleke that will go to prison for Yoruba people? He will run away. Or someone who knows lọ sẹ́wọ̀n fún Yorùbá. Ní ó lọ sẹ́wọ̀n bí àwọn JP Ọlá, àwọn JS Ọláwọyìn, àwọn Ẹ̀náwòrò. Kí ló kà wọ́n yẹn? They are technocrats. Wọ́n ní ẹ má bínú o, ṣe fẹ́ gbàjọba ni ẹ gbà o. The next thing, Paris let mọ gbó wọn. Wọ́n àmọ́ ní ẹyin tẹ́ ń sọ tẹ́lẹ̀, àdèmọ́ tẹ́ ń sọ tẹ́lẹ̀, they will run away. So we are begging. But I want to come here. They are Yorubas like us. That we not allow them to lead us to war. So I ain't ever fair say political Islam, political Christianity. File Yoruba less fún wa o. File Yoruba less fún wa. Do your religion in peace. Do your Christianity in peace. That's why some of us went hard against Peter Obi and his minions. Esheo, it's been 3 hours on dot. It's been a wonderful day. At this junction, I'm going to stop. Now we know there's a Yoruba, there's an ethno-religious identity of the Yoruba people who are also qualified to be Yoruba because they are practicing that was the only way they could codify their Yoruba identity. Torí ẹ̀ ní gbogbo tí Olúwo of Ìwó ń ṣe is absolute madness. Meaning, if you have good governance, the man should be out and jailed. Ní Benin Republic.
Pure madness.
Ní Benin Republic. If you go and do any sermon, to balance a sermon, to lambu, they are going to hell. Jesus is going to hell. And if you attack any religion, you will go to hell. They would lock your church, lock your mosque, and you will go to prison. That is what they are doing in Benin Republic. That's why Benin Republic is not suffering from terrorism like Nigeria. It's a stable country. It's a stable country because it is founded based on Yoruba civilization and only Benin Republic. Torí ẹ̀ lè rọ́mọ Benin Republic, wọ́n máa ń Sunday Yoruba Benin Republic, Sunday Igbo, even though wọ́n tọ́jú ẹ̀, wọ́n preserve ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gba wèrè mẹ́sìn ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yin ní ọ̀dàlẹ̀. You are not religious. Ẹ kàn ń lọ church ni, ẹ ń lọ mọ́sálásí ni, ìkà ni yín. Ìkà ó ní yín. Ìkà ó ní yín because
Àwọn ló lọ túfó.
Àwọn ni.
He caused them recently.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bẹ̀ẹ̀ àwọn Yorùbá Benin Republic wọ́n defend ẹ̀. Ṣé tí Nàìjíríà bá dá tí àwọn Fúlàní ò mọ Fúlàní darandaran dáràn tí wọ́n bá mọ́ pa èèyàn kiri nínú igbó kí ló fẹ́ fà á tí Sunday Igboho di match bẹ̀tẹ̀ wo reason tó fi dìde ìyẹn ò kàn yín ẹ ń pariwo Yorùbá nation ni kí ló fà á tó fi ń pariwo Yorùbá nation kò kàn yín torí kà níyín. That's why Tinubu ní ọpọlọjọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín tẹ́yẹ̀rẹ́ kí progressive sọ fún yín pẹ̀lú gbogbo mindset ẹni yẹn Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ èèyàn lẹ̀ Yorùbá ọmọ bóra kiri kọ́mọ ṣe fáìn kọ́mọ ẹni jẹ́yàn because ó ti dójú ẹ̀ táwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ bá wùwà bá ṣe ń wùwà yìí ni kí la fẹ́ dé bá nígbà tọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn wá sákalẹ̀ gbogbo wọn sá lọ wọn ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ torí wọn ò fẹ́ ṣe àwọn Sókótó ẹ̀yin lórí burúkú yìí ẹ mọ̀ pé agbára àti ipò látọ̀dọ̀ Olódùmarè ló ti ń wá ni ṣé ẹ lówó bí Abíọ́lá ni Abíọ́lá gbé bílíọ̀nù sílẹ̀ láti sponsor Sharia kí náà ṣe wọ́n pa ní tìyàwó tíyàwó wọ́n pa tìrantìran ni àwọn àmọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ ní gbọ́ ẹ mọ̀ jójú ẹlẹ́yà lórí social media Ọlọ́run ó dá wa sí o ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá bọ́ ta ẹni bá ìjẹba ti dìbò fún alákatakítí ni o Boko Haram ni ó kó wọlé o ẹ̀sùn ẹkún ẹ̀ ní rí gbogbo tẹ̀ ń pẹ́ pátọ́là hide and we will do it because we just have one land which is Yorùbá land tó jẹ́ pé àwọn kan fẹ́ attach ara wọn wọ́n fẹ́ di Lagos Igbo wọ́n fẹ́ di Ògùn Igbo wọ́n fẹ́ di Lagos everybody ló fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá there is a scramble for Yorùbá land ilẹ̀ yẹn lẹ́yìn ò wá appreciate lẹ fẹ́ gbé ogun wọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ti gbé pè àwọn kan wá ń prank wọ́n jókòó ti Ìkwárà north ni we are waiting for you àtà ń tó lé wa lọ́wọ́ ni we will let àjẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé Kwara ń ṣe north.
àtàwọn tó rúmbè náà tó bébé àbí.
a máa jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé Kwara ń ṣe north ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni ilẹ̀ Oòduà ni tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní kó ṣẹlẹ̀ because we are not going to keep quiet anymore fẹ́yìn ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú yìí tó ti fi ẹ̀sìn tó ti fi sọ yín di ẹni ìgbèkùn àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ní káyìn mọ́ ṣe orí burúkú yín wá ìtẹ́wá fẹ́ kọ́ gbogbo wa sínú ìgbèkùn pẹ̀lú yín papọ̀ kọ́ mọ́ ìkúnlẹ̀ fún bàbá mọ́ kí ẹ lè dọ̀bálẹ̀ fọ́ba nínú ìlú ìkọ̀dẹ̀sẹ́ni tí ó lè yín jáde ọba ò take it serious ní kọ́kọ́ bc kan fún kan smoking out kò sí nǹkan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀.
wọ́n ń dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún emir ọba ní ìlú dọ̀bálẹ̀.
ẹlẹ́wọ̀n dànù.
bí ẹ̀mẹ́wàá pàápàá náà ń dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ọjọ́ púpọ̀ o Olódùmarè ó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o many people might say pé tọrọ mi le díẹ̀ lónìí báyìí ó yẹ kó le lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. Needs to be tough. It needs to be strong. Because in talk when Yoruba conservative ideology, attentive them believe we are taking the shine away from you. Then so pé àmọ́ tá ń sọ we are half baked. Kò sí problem. Because mo ti rí yẹn náà. Tẹ́nìkan ń sọ̀sọ́kùsọ mo kàn rẹ́rìn. But we are never going to look for peace with people that want to create religious war nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. We are never. Because religious war, the world is going ethnic. And the world is becoming volatile. We should be strengthening our home, taking the message to our different homelands in order to survive. Thank you, everybody, once again. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o.